Well, hello, my little croissants. Tonight's ASMR video, we're gonna do a little girl talk, a little get to know me better kind of video. I have some questions here on my phone. Answer them as best as I can so you can get a better feel for who I am. So, if that sounds interesting to you, just keep watching. I want to say beforehand, I don't know exactly what questions I will be answering, but I don't mean to offend anyone with any of my answers, just in case. These are all just my opinion, and you're more than free to have your own. So let's just get right into it, okay? First question I'll be answering says, what's your favorite quality about yourself? As well as least favorite. Okay, favorite quality about myself. I think that my favorite quality, maybe that I'm open-minded. I'm not too quick to judge. I might judge a little bit, but I can hear people out. I can hear different opinions. I've grown in that sense. When I was younger, I was a bit stubborn, and I've grown out of that. My least favorite quality would be maybe that I'm perpetually late to things. It is a fault of mine. I'm trying to get better, but it's just so hard for me to get places on time. So that's my answer for that. Let's see, next question. I'm just going through these and picking which ones. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, I like this one. Who do you admire most and why? Easy peasy. I would pick my father. My dad is my best friend in the world, my confidant, my biggest supporter. He's just so funny and sweet. He's everyone's favorite. Like if you were to ask his siblings, who's your favorite sibling? They would all say my dad. He's the favorite uncle amongst his nieces and nephews. I've never met anyone who has had a bad word to say about my dad. He's just the absolute best person in the world. And I feel really lucky every day that he's my dad. You know, the world can be a bit cruel at times, a bit mean and rough, and my dad has been a shield for me from all that. He's just wonderful. I can't even put into words how much I love my dad. Do you live by any particular mantra? That's a good question. If I had to pick one, I would say do good and be good. I'm not a religious person by any means. I'm not like anti-religion for other people or anything like that. It's just not for me personally. But yeah, I think just try your best. Treat people how you would want to be treated. I like that one, the golden rule. And I think if you do that, do your best, then whatever happens at the end, you'll either be taken care of because you were a good person, or at least you left the earth a better place with your positivity. Do you have any characters in your family? Yes, I do. I am saying all of this lovingly, so, I'm not talking trash about these people. I love them. But one big character in my family would be my late grandmother. Oh my gosh, I have several stories like about her. I didn't really grow up around her, but I would hear a lot, and the few times that we did interact, it was always very confusing, odd. One memory that really sticks out for me is one year for Christmas, she gave me a necklace, and it looked sort of like a locket, but not really. And I was just toying with it, and I realized that the top popped off of it, and it had this long metal stick that would go inside like a vial. It's so hard to explain. But it turned out to be a hiding spot where you would put drugs, maybe perhaps cocaine. And so I lovingly call it my cocaine necklace from Granny. And some people were not that impressed about it, but when I really think deep down to it, she loved doing drugs. So for her to give that to me, it felt kind of special. Do you think dreams have deeper meanings? I sure hope not. Because I have so many end of the world dreams, and they are so graphic, and there's so much detail, and they feel so real. I absolutely hate them, but perhaps some dreams do have deeper meanings. I'm gonna sound a bit like a Looney Tune when I say this, but there have been times where my dreams have predicted things. Like, there was this guy, I was a bit crazy about him, okay? And I had a dream that he was going to get married. And the very next day, someone posted about him getting engaged. So, I may or may not be a psychic. Would you survive a zombie apocalypse? Absolutely not. I like living a very soft life. I'm always amazed by people strive to live in the movies and things like that. That would not be me. I would probably die immediately. I'm basically halfway legally blind. I can't see all that well. So the second I run out of contacts, or my glasses break, it would be over for me. Do you think you're a friendly person? So I go in and out of thinking this because I've had people tell me different things, and I'm going with this based off of looks, okay? I've had people tell me that they're shocked by how nice I am after they talk to me because they said I looked like I would be a bitch. But on the same hand, I have this weird phenomenon that happens when I go out in public where strangers will just either tell me their deepest, darkest secrets, or just really open up to me about things going on with their lives. Like, I've had complete strangers cry to me. So that leads me to think I have a somewhat friendly face, if that's happening. So I don't know, but in general, do I think I'm friendly? Yes, I think I'm quite friendly. What is something you consider too serious to joke about? Okay, I'm gonna go on a little tangent here. I have somewhat of a dark sense of humor, and I'm gonna kind of bring up a recent thing that's been in the media. So everyone's been going off about the whole Matt Rife thing and how it was so tasteless of him to do a domestic violence joke, because that's never funny. And I think you can kind of make a joke about anything. It really comes down to the execution of it, though. Like, do I think it's wrong he did that joke? No, I don't. But was the joke funny? Also, no. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, if you're gonna be offensive, there's a way to do it. There's a way to make, I think if you're a talented comedian, that you can really joke on anything. I just think he didn't pull it off. What's your least favorite emotion? I would say anger, and that's because years and years ago, I forgot who told me this, but it stuck with me. They said that anger is always a secondary emotion. It's never the first thing you feel. And I'll try to explain that better. Like, let's say your partner cheats on you, okay? You're angry about it, but that's not the first thing that you were. You're angry because you're upset, or you're angry because you're disappointed. Anger doesn't really do much. It doesn't solve things. And I think it's a bit meaningless. You should look for the real source of your emotion if you're feeling anger. Do you hold grudges, or do you let go of things easily? I would say I do both. I tend to let go of things more easily if they were done towards me, and also if the person apologized and was genuine about it. There are some grudges I hold, though, against people who I feel like they will never change. Like someone I know, they were so mean to someone else I know. Growing up, they would make fun of their weight, the things they liked, and just things like that. And I still hate that person who did that to this day. Like, I just won't let it go, because the person being mean was an adult, and they were being mean to a literal child, and they never said sorry for it. And that is probably a grudge I'll hold until the day I die. Who is your most embarrassing celebrity crush? I don't get embarrassed by any of my crushes for real. I tend to just own them. But other people have thought it was weird that I thought, like, Nick Cage. I think he's weirdly sexy. I can't explain it. Alan Rickman as Snape. Snape could get it. David Spade. David Spade is weirdly cute to me. But embarrassing, I don't know if those are embarrassing. Oh no, I got it. My most embarrassing celebrity crush, even though celebrity is kind of pushing it too, would be Chet Hanks. Chet Hanks is, I don't know, he's weirdly endearing to me. What's the worst name you could give a pet? Worst name. Okay, I have a bit of an opinion that I think it's weird if you give your animal like a very human name. Now, when I say that, I don't mean all human names, because I named my cat Elliot, but like certain names for animals are just odd. Like growing up, I knew this girl. They had, I think it was a golden retriever. Anyways, they had a dog, and she named her dog Jessica, and that has pissed me off for my entire life. What do you think is the worst bio for a dating app? So I do somewhat frequent dating apps, and I've seen some profiles that I just want to message them and be like, hey, this is not the move. Because some of the things people put on there are just absolutely unhinged. I think in your dating profile, you should kind of keep it more upbeat. Like, I don't like it when people are putting like, if you're this or if you're that, don't swipe on me, I don't like this. Put what you're looking for. I think that's gonna get you further with what you want. Also, like, some people brag about being crazy. Like, I'm so crazy. I've seen some bios that were like, will ruin your life, and I'm emotionally unavailable. Which, thank you for putting it out there for everyone and God to see so they can avoid you, but what the fuck are you doing? What's a deal breaker for you in a relationship? Ooh, okay. Honestly, a lot of things. But if I had to make it a simple answer, it would be just that we're not compatible. Like, I wouldn't date someone who is poly. I'm not like anti-poly people. If that's your thing, go out, live your life. You do you, boo. I love it for you. But I don't even want to say it's jealousy. I just like monogamy. I like to focus on one person and to have that person focus on me. So someone who's poly, that would be a deal breaker for me. I don't like people who always think they're right, like you can't have a conversation with, or where everything turns into an argument with them. Deal breaker. Someone who's rude just to like random people, I don't like that at all. Another deal breaker, and again, I don't mean to offend anyone, I would probably not date someone with children. That's just because I don't have any kids, and how do I put this? When I'm in a relationship, I like to be like the focus, and they're my focus. So like, we only really have to worry about each other. If someone has a child, though, that child should always come first, and so I would always be in second. And again, like, if that was the situation, that's how it should be. Your kids should come first. But I don't have a kid, so they would be like first to me. You get what I'm saying? To me, it just wouldn't make sense. If you had the opportunity to redesign society, what would you change? Oh man, so many things. I think I would just change how we see and interact with each other. We tend, as humans, to other each other when we're all on this floating rock. We all don't know what the hell is going on, and I like to think we have way more in common with each other than we do differences. I would also, this is gonna sound so rude, I would bring back just a little bit of shame. And what I mean by that is that some people, like, I get being confident and doing your thing. I'm not talking about that. Like, live your truth. What I mean by that is, like, you should care about your actions and how they affect other people. The whole mentality of, I don't give a shit, I'm gonna do whatever I want, no matter who I step on along the way. I absolutely hate that. Do you believe in ghosts? Not necessarily, but if you were to ask me to go spend the night in an abandoned, like, mental hospital or like a murder house or something, I would tell you absolutely not, because I would be freaked out. I think anything could be possible. I'm not ruling out the existence of ghosts. I just have never had a spooky encounter. This question makes me think of something really funny though. Years and years ago, I was in the running, I guess, or asked to audition for a ghost hunting show. I clearly did not get the part, but I do wonder sometimes what that would have been like. Do you have any pets? I do. I have a kitty cat. His name is Elliot. I adopted him like at the height of COVID when we were all locked inside. I was quite lonely, and I had never had a cat before, and I was just browsing, shelters and things like that, and I came across the cutest picture I had ever seen in my life, and I drove about an hour and some change to go get him, go pick him up. When I got to the shelter, they told me they couldn't find him, and I asked them, I was like, well, where the fuck is he? Did he make a break through it, through like a man-made tunnel like Pablo Escobar? And they went and looked a little bit more. They found him. They brought him out to me, and he was so small, and he was very, very cute, but he was also a bit pathetic looking. And what I mean by that is he was really sick when I got him. I don't want to be graphic, but his bum hole like was protruding. He was a little bit dirty. I ended up doing a foster to adopt because he had just turned 6 weeks old. He was so small, like just a baby. And they don't really recommend taking kittens from their mothers and things like that until 8 weeks. He didn't have like a mom at that time though, and he was eating solid food and everything, so it wasn't the hardest thing. I didn't have to bottle feed him or anything. But the first few weeks I had him were a little scary. The first few days were the worst because I got him home and he was really sweet and cute. He was playful, and after a couple hours he was just not as playful. He got like a little bit limp, and I was scared he was gonna die, so I took him to the emergency vet, and they were like, yeah, he's in bad condition. They gave him fluids and they gave me a bunch of medicines to give him. He had, I think it was pronounced coccidia, and it's just like, I don't know exactly what it is. I would equate it to like a human stomach bug. It was really gross to deal with, but I would have to put butt paste on him, give him medicines like every few hours, which he hated. Did a lot of butt baths, and I've had him for years now, and we're best buddies. How do you express your love for someone? I express my love in various ways. I like to tell people I love them, so through words. Like if I love someone, they're gonna know it. I don't like to leave people guessing about my feelings. I'm pretty straight up in that way. I say I love you a lot, and I make sure to say it at the end of every phone call. I think that's kind of important. I also show love through acts of service, I guess you would put it. I love to cook for the person I'm with. Like in my last relationship, I did all of the cooking, and that's because I like to do it. I think it's fun, and you have to eat, so it's useful too. And I like to do like the whole shebang. Like if I cook for them, I'll make their plate, I'll bring them a cold drink. I'm already up, so why not? Even though I cooked all our meals, I wasn't like his maid or anything. If I didn't feel up to cooking or I just didn't want to, he would get us whatever I wanted, like delivery or takeout. It's a give and take. I think some people view relationships a bit oddly nowadays. I sound like an old person, but it's true. I think if you're dating or in love, it's not being a simp or someone's bitch. If you are nice to them or if you do nice things for them, that's just like your job as far as being in a relationship, is to be nice and caring towards each other and trying to make the other person's life easier. Okay, my loves, we've reached the end of this ASMR video. I hope that you enjoyed getting to know me just a little bit better. I love you all so much, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.